So the other day, I was out with a friend and they stepped up to pay for something and they pulled out their credit card. Now, this is a friend who owns an iPhone. So I looked at him like, yo, why are you not using Apple Pay? And they gave me the, So are you using Apple Pay for your purchases? Now, some of y'all might not know what it is or might not be aware of how to set it up or use it. Don't worry, I'll cover that. Stay tuned to the video. What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, captain of Team Apple, baby. Back again for the video. And if you're new here, I help you better understand and connect with the technology around you. So if that's something that you're interested in, smash that like button and hit that subscribe button, because who else is cutting your tech videos like a WWE promo? Nobody like the man about tech. So why are we still using credit cards in 2022 when we have access to Apple Pay? Now, you might be like, Viper, what is Apple Pay? Apple Pay is a contactless payment solution set up by Apple. You can use it at grocery stores, malls, gas stations, wherever they accept contactless payments. And it's very, very good because it protects your information in the case that merchants get hacked and different things like that. So a lot of times when you go to these gas stations, and you pay at the pump, normally you would slide your credit card in there, slide it out, and then you would pay for your gas. Did you know that at some of those pumps, hackers might have something in place called a skimmer? When you think you're sticking your credit card into the pump, you're actually sticking it into a skimmer that then hackers use and they steal your information that way. Well, with things like Apple Pay, that is a problem of the past, because when you go to make an Apple Pay transaction, Apple hides your actual credit card information from the merchant. What they do is they set up a one-time token and they give that information to the merchant. It's still tied to your credit card, but the merchant doesn't get your actual credit card information. They get the one-time token. Your purchase is still paid for and your information is protected. What makes Apple Pay so legit is its versatility. It can be used with iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, and even on a MacBook. Also, a lot of the apps inside of iOS have Apple Pay built in, so when you have to make an in-app payment, you can make it via Apple Pay, and that is a good look as well, because again, your information is protected. Now, contactless payments weren't really a big thing in the US prior to the pandemic, but since the pandemic happened, they have kind of blown up here in the US. In the rest of the world, I think they were ahead of us with contactless payment. But now, since the pandemic has been a thing, contactless payments are much more accepted here in the US. So with the accelerated adoption because of the pandemic, and now knowing that it is the most secure way to make payments, you should be using Apple Pay every chance that you get. Also, Apple is making Apple Pay accessible to many more merchants starting in spring when they roll out their new feature called Tap to Pay on iPhone. So now, instead of having this big old point-of-sale terminal to take payment, all that merchant will need is an NFC capable iPhone, and then they can take their Apple Pay payments by having them tap their iPhone against your iPhone, and then the whole thing going through via Apple Pay. That way, it might save the merchants some money on not having those big point-of-sale terminals and different things like that. So again, you definitely want to start using Apple Pay if you haven't started it already. But again, you might not know how to set it up or how to use it. So let me go and show you how to set it up. It's real quick and easy. 3, 2, 1. All right, so what you want to do here is you want to go to the wallet app on your iPhone, iPad, whatever. I think basically iPhone. I think you have to set this up. Hit the plus sign in the top right here, and then it says add to wallet. So this is how you add a credit or debit card to Apple Pay. So let's say you want to add a debit card. Also, as you can see, you can add transit cards as well. So basically, it gives you the disclaimer, hit continue, and then you can scan it. You can put the card down and scan the actual picture of the card, or you can input the information manually. After you do all of that, it will contact your bank to make sure that the information is above board. And then once that stuff is confirmed, it will add that credit or debit card to Apple Pay, and you can begin to use it. Now, to use Apple Pay, if you have an iPhone 10 or newer, you double tap the side button, and then it will scan your face. And then once it gets that face scan, you can hold the phone over the terminal as such, and boom, Apple Pay happens. Now, if you have an iPhone 8 or an iPhone SE, basically you hold your phone over the scanner and then rest your finger on the fingerprint sensor, Touch ID, and then it will go through that way. And that is how you use Apple Pay. Also, if you have an Apple Watch, just double tap the side button and Apple Pay will come up. Hold your watch over the terminal, bam, and then you have an Apple Pay transaction. The cool thing about Apple Pay is that if you are going to places that you know accept contactless payments, then you can leave your wallet, purse, whatever at home. Just make sure you have your iPhone or Apple Watch on you, and then you can just pay for everything via Apple Pay. Speaking of Apple, there's a rumored event happening next month. If you want to know more about that event, bam, check out that video and come back for more.